Alright guys, I know it's been a minute, but we're back on the habit, and I'm bringing you the first item we got in the mail a month ago from our sponsor. Sorry for the delay, some family issues, but they're all cleared up now, and we're ready to roll. So the tent we got here is 27.3 by 27.3 by 63 inches. I know it's a weird measurement, but that's what it is. That's what it came as. That's how I bought it, and I measured it up. It's actually true measurement. Typical for what's in the box, you got the straps there for the ventilation unit. I always wonder why it comes with a tent and not the ventilation unit, but hey, whatever. It also has some extra pieces for in case there's a light leak, you can go ahead and seal that. All the poles, corner pieces here, they're all individually wrapped and labeled. Looks like they're stamped with the part number, which is awesome. And then you got this just example of the different sizes that they have available and different ways to set up your tent. Sorry, so if you unfold it, there's a little more there. That's what we're finding there. Basically just tells you to construct the frame as so and then lay it down to get the thing around it, so that's what we'll do. Pretty easy stuff if you've done it before. This is not our first tent, so we're just going to go ahead and do this blindly. So just looking at this, there's two general size base poles, and then you have the hanging rods, which you'll be able to identify with the rounded edges to hang on top of the other poles. That'll be like the two crossbar sections here. You hang the ventilation, lighting from it, whatever. We'll go ahead and test those in a little bit, see how strong they actually are. And then these are another dimension of pipe, a little shorter than this other one that we have here, and one will clip into the other and make various size bases and the roof. So just to quickly review what they got going on here, just in case there's anything special that I'm missing. But it doesn't look like it. It looks like a pretty basic, just rectangular tent, which is definitely appreciated. And the height difference from the Vipar Spectra that we have is going to be helpful when it comes to flowering time. I'll be able to let the girls get a little bigger and kind of grow more up and out as opposed to just laying them straight down with the LST and really have some more room for that stretch. So nice thing about these corners is they have the little rubber bottoms. Just make sure you pay attention that you put it in the right area so that the rubber bottom is in fact on the bottom, unlike I just did there. And it's going to be protecting the bottom of the tent and the top of the tent where you stretch it over. You don't want the metal edges to rip through the mylar and the canvas on the outside. So this construction is pretty simple. Like I said, it's got a little metal button that you push in, and then when you slide it in, it finds the little opening and it will pop back out, preventing it from sliding out. So if you just bear with me, I'm going to quickly throw this together, and we'll get through to showing you what it looks like when she's done. Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and try it the way they explained and see if that works. But usually I find with these sort of things, as well as with cooking, the directions are not always on point. So we'll see if we end up doing it their way. They say to lay it in bottom first, but it's just not working for me. You can't seem to stretch this up and over without really getting a lot of tension on the Mylar, and I'm not interested in ripping it. So we're going to do top first and bottom last, I think. Patch is obviously always here to assist, and I'm honestly not worried about him ripping through this Mylar because it's actually pretty thick. So here we're just making sure that we get all four of the bottom corners in the tray because that's what's going to hold the zipper for us while we close the tent and make sure that we get a proper fit. Just working out the last of the wrinkles before I go ahead and pull the zipper. I don't ever like putting too much tension on the zipper, especially when it's the first time I'm trying a product. And this is the first time I'm using the Spider Farm brand tents. So let's see how it goes. There's a flap there. There's ports and a flap here. That came right off there. Not too pleased about that. We'll see how I make use of it later. The V and the bend in that piece of fabric kind of looks like it's going to give me some light leak issues, but we'll see. It's time to get these crossbars in and do a little bit of a weight test. See how it holds up. I'm not sure if you guys saw when he climbed in there, but this is pretty much a magic act to me. So there's a tie up top there that I just used. I'm sorry the camera is not angled correctly. It's not like a clamp or anything. It's just a little canvas strap that you can make a little bow tie out of or a slip knot. I'm just gonna lay these right in here across the top section, one on top of the other. One is straight across with the bends on it, and then one is bent slightly more on each end to allow it to lay comfortably below the other. So let's see if it holds. Yep, she's good. There is a little bend in the frame there, but for approximately 150 pounds, that's not bad. I don't see the ventilation and light weighing nearly that much, so we should be good to go. It also looks like patch approves. I don't know if you guys can get a good look at that, but that's about 4 pieces of reflective mylar that you can use to repair this in the future, and that's something I always appreciate with cats like these hanging around all the time. Again, these are the ventilation straps that, for some unknown reason to me, come with the tent and not the ventilation, but again, it's appreciated. This bottom tray is actually pretty well made. It looks like it's going to hold a lot, and if I can get patch out of here, there we go. I can get this in here. The corners have Velcro, so that looks like it's actually going to be pretty easy to get in here. This kind of addition is not always necessary, but it is definitely helpful, and as I'm going to be adding a heat mat in here, and I'm not sure whether or not I'm going to be bottom feeding yet, I'm going to leave it in here and see how it goes. We got a whole bunch of portholes here, a lot for this size tent if you ask me, but I also don't use them very much, so only for the vent. This is what the tent looks like. I just realized the camera was tilted down a little bit this whole time, but you know what? She looks good now, and that's all that matters. Don't forget, Spider Farmer is patch approved. And thanks for watching the show, guys. We hope to see you back soon. We appreciate your patience. And stay medicated, meditated, and educated.